I basically got access to the biggest secret of the AAA industry, the industry that creates high-quality games and animations. I got access to a suit that captures my movements, so I took it and created several movements to put into the game I'm working on, while showing the process here on the channel. Before I give you all the details on how the suit works, what I'm using, how this is going to be here within the project, subscribe to the channel to follow my journey. If you like games, maybe you'll like this game I'm creating here on the channel to play later. Or maybe you're just curious and want to know how games work. And here on this channel, you'll get all the content that you'll dive into this world in a way that I guarantee you won't find anywhere else, because I bring a unique perspective here, my own view, as you'll see in this video. So subscribe to the channel, okay? And I'm gonna show you how I use this suit. And if you're interested at any point in this video in understanding more deeply how games work, my course is in the description and the pinned comment, which is actually where I show this movement system used in my game, and I also show how you can do motion capture, which is something I combined with this motion capture suit. Let's check it out. So what is this big secret? Why is it the biggest secret in the gaming industry in general? Because it's something expensive, right? It's something that requires an investment and also brings a lot of quality. You won't see today, or for a long time now, high quality games without using a motion capture suit for many of the scenes. If you take Days Gone itself, which is what I'm somewhat basing this game on, you'll see all those scenes were created using motion capture. So there are several actors who wear this suit, and they start to walk around inside a warehouse, a closed studio, often interacting with several other people to create a scene. So they do everything, because if you were to edit by hand, if you create an animation by hand like this, if you know little about how animation works, it's very, very laborious. If I want to move my arm up, my arm is here, right? So I have to take a bone that's here and say, look, it's going up. I'm gonna change the rotation from here or here. And then everything else will stay still. And then if I want to animate everything else, my face and all that, I have to go in and set it. At this time, it's like this. At this other time, it's like that. And then do the movement for everything. It's extremely laborious, and it doesn't look natural. Man, the movement I'm doing here is super natural, right? Like, it's a real official movement. If an animator were to do it, it would take hours, days, weeks, most likely months, and it wouldn't have anywhere near the same quality. In here, for example, this animation where I pick up the item, the time for me to animate, of course, I'll talk about the process itself in a bit, but the capture is very fast. I click to start recording, stop recording, and that's it. The file is ready. Okay, Neri, how does this whole capture suit thing work? I see those guys wearing the suits and everything. First of all, there are some variations in the styles of suits. The one I used was from Movella Xsens. Man, it's a top-tier Dutch company that delivers high-quality sensors. It's extremely straightforward in the way it works. You put on a suit, but it's not really the suit itself, the fabric. It's the sensors you place all over your body. And the suit, it has to be skin tight, it has to be snug, because it can't shift around. Every single one of these sensors you attach, it can't move. It has to stay in the exact same spot, because it averages out all the sensors to determine, okay, it was here and now it's here. So this right here, it's moving. So it captures all the movement from every sensor and puts together an animation in real time, doing a bunch of calculations right there. So you place several sensors on the hand, on the arm, on the leg. There are a lot of them, really. I actually made some straps myself to do the captures, to put them on. But they do come with it if you buy the kit. I had a partnership, and it turned out they couldn't send me the straps, so I had to make my own. But you just set it up, right? You use that Velcro, and then you put these little orange dots on top, see? So here's the orange dot for the left arm, and where do you put it? You put it on your left arm, and it starts tracking. On top of that, you have a radio system. So here, okay, they're charging, see, but you plug this into your computer via USB. This is a radio base, right? Which each of these sensors uses to communicate with this platform connected to the computer. But when it's not acting as a station, it's just charging. And it's important to mention, while you're seeing the results and everything that's playing there, it's good to talk about how it works, right? Because you buy the suit, but once you've bought it, that's not the end of it. What happens? It's a subscription-based system. So you buy the suit for a fixed base price, and then you need the company's own software to be able to read and capture those points, and also to export each of the animations. It works on a monthly subscription to give you access to that software. So it doesn't end with the suit purchase, but the workflow, the process, it's really good, very precise, and very fast. Another thing is, you'll have software to do the capture and export it, which you pay for, and after that, you'll need to make some adjustments. One thing you might not think about is that, okay, the suit is tracking the movements of the whole body and everything, but how do the fingers work? The fingers aren't tracked. They don't have that movement, so the hand stays stiff. To do finger movements, you'd need a motion capture glove, which is available on the market. You can also buy it and pair it with this suit, and then you have the movement of the hands. In my case, I used another tool here called iClone. iClone is sensational, man. You can it already has several hand poses saved there. You just keep adding them, changing them, and then I exported it. Especially since my character's base is made in iClone, so I can have high quality to work with and much more speed. So you need this whole sequence, right? You need the suit, then the app that exports the suit's animation, one to make general adjustments, not just for the hands. iClone also has foot contact and hand contact with things, so the foot doesn't go through the floor, so the hand touches places too, and various other details that will then come together for you to reach this result. And you notice it's really a AAA result. You put it inside Unreal Engine, use the sequences, which is something I also teach in my course, okay, how you work with these sequences, which are the cinematic part within Unreal Engine, and then you come out with a result that's really impressive. I've already recorded several other scenes that I'll bring here to the channel for you, okay? So keep an eye out for the next videos here about this game. I'll bring the weapon, I'll put our character's weapon to create a scene, I'll show some gameplay, and I'll also start working on and showing the zombie horde system coming after me and fighting, which will be the main mechanic of this game. Besides that, I'll also do captures with this suit to tell a little story, so it's cool, to play this game. It won't be a AAA game, but man, the simple fact of having capture with this suit already brings a very different look, a much cooler look to the game, especially for storytelling. I see there are other ways for you to work with motion capture, especially without any suit, those markerless ones they talk about. You set up two cameras, one in front and one on the side, and then you take the neutral points and can do that capture. But with the suit, it's much faster, much more precise, and the quality is indisputable. There's no way around it. If you want to reach the AAA level, you need to use a tool like this because of the time. Time is also a differentiating factor for you to get both time and quality, so Xsens is very, very incredible. I'll leave it here in the description for you to take a look at it, okay? You have to talk to a sales representative to clear up your specific questions. It's not with me, because I won't be able to answer all specific questions, but they have packages for the indie industry too. So take a look because it's really worth it, depending on the size of your project. And here for the channel, as I said, in the next videos, I'll show better all this part of this game, which is already like this. Look, it has very cool movement. I've already shown interaction here. I also showed him getting lit, the character getting lit and drying, animations of our zombies going there, right? It already has a little system. So it's gonna be really cool to follow this project. If you like games, like zombie games, want to understand, are curious, subscribe to the channel. And remembering, I also match these animations with the new facial system from iClone 8 and the Unreal Engine. So I did the motion captures, fixed the hands there with, and then I still added facial movements that I acted myself in front of a webcam. But in my course, I also show how you can use artificial intelligence to do these captures and much more, okay? I highly recommend you take a look at the links here in the description and stay here on the channel, because I'm going to show more very surprising things about this game that you might like, whether to play or for you to know how the game industry works. Maybe you've never stopped to think exactly how a motion capture suit works, okay? And I'm gonna make more videos dealing with these suit animations too here on the channel. It won't be just this single video, it's more of an introductory video for us to start getting familiar with this concept. There are several other details that I want to bring here. And about the Xsens, the Owinda, which is the suit I wore, there are other suits from Xsens, from Movella, that bring other proposals. You can also measure sports efficiency, several other details with absurd precision. You can know the compression of an average compression of your spine, if there's any problem. Anyway, a sensational technology. I've never seen anything so incredible like this in the industry. I've never tested anything that was so surprising. I really was. Look, very cool the possibilities that can be done. And you'll see that in this game of mine here that we're creating on the channel, it's going to be super interesting. It's going to have a very cool result. Thank you very much for watching until the end. We'll see each other very soon. Big hug. Bye. Bye. I'm out.